after going out and surveying 2,000 in-market car buyers. Again, this sample was a random sample across the nation, not just our clients, but also car buyers from dealers that actually do not use our services. So it's a really great study. Got some really great information on it. To break it down a little bit, as you can see at the top, there's Cars.com and Edmunds. They came out first when it came to asking what these car buyers, what review sites they used while shopping for their vehicles. Again, we do this twice a year, so we were actually able to compare this to the fall of 2012. And Cars and Edmunds both had a pretty high jump, Cars being 13% and Edmunds being 8%. After that is Google+, and they actually had a large drop-off, just about 16% between that 6-month span. Our guess here is because during that time, Google was in the process of just making a ton of changes, and that's kind of what today's webinar is going to be about. I'm going to show you all those changes and all that build-up that Google went through to get to where they are today. But the problem is they lost a lot of viewership during those 6 months. They were doing things such as changing up the different star ratings. They had a 5-star rating, then they went to a 30-point Zagat rating. Next thing you know, they're back at the 5-star rating. They're merging their pages, their Google Plus and Google Plus local pages. People just had a hard time finding the information that they actually wanted. So we think that's kind of where they had that big jump off. My guess is it looks like all that hard work is starting to pay off a little bit, and that they're starting to get that platform a little more easy to navigate, and they really have some super cool features now. So my guess is that we'll see this actually start to jump back up there in our next study. After that, we had Yelp, which actually stayed constant, really popular with some of the young jet setters, and then followed by Yahoo and DealerRater. This next chart is an age breakdown of car buyer consumer review sites. As you can see at the top, Cars.com, pretty steady across the board. Cars.com does a really great job marketing themselves. You'll see quite a few ads, TV ads. They really do a good job of getting themselves out there. And that's going to be one of the reasons why you're going to see them highly used, especially with the older demographic. Edmunds, they just kind of have a tradition within the car industry. That's probably why you're going to see them used highly up here towards the older range and kind of follow off a little bit with the younger demographic. In contrast, we have Google and Yelp. Google and Yelp have some really good numbers reported with the younger generation. A really good guess as to why this is because they are trendy. They are one of those slow-mo type review sites, basically that tie in social media and do a really good job of spreading their platforms across all the different type of genres. So really big with the younger generation, so we can only guess that this will keep increasing. And as you can see, Google, again, drops off, and Yelp drops off with the older generations, but we can only see this continue to grow as our younger generation continues to age. Our next chart right here is going to go over basically doing a comparison between review sites and websites. The question was posed, how helpful were review sites in your search for a dealer? The one number that really is going to jump out, at least for me, is over here, the 24% that prefer review sites. Now, 24%, that's 1/4 of the people that we actually surveyed saying that they prefer review sites to that of the website. That's not even including right here, we have the 27% that say they're neutral. My guess is those that are neutral are actually using the review sites to then navigate to websites. So that's where they're actually transitioning to. They find the website helpful. Obviously, websites are a necessity, especially if you're properly using social media. You're actually driving traffic from there to your website. So that's why you're going to have a big chunk that are neutral. But again, outside of that, there's 24% that they could care less about your website. They're going to go ahead and find everything they need directly from their review sites or these again, combination slow-mo sites.
Can you email?
All right, I also included this really kind of informative report that Nielsen did. Once a year, they do a global trust in advertising and brand messaging. Basically, they actually ask people around the world and want to know what types of forms of advertising do you trust. So if you look at the numbers here, that in the green is what people trust completely or somewhat. Purple being they do not trust so much or at all. And you're going to really see some interesting stuff here. Right in the middle are going to be all of our traditional types of advertising. Basically, from 40% to 47% say they somewhat trust or completely trust all our traditional forms of advertising, whether that be TV, brand sponsorships, ads in magazines, billboards, newspapers, radios, etc. All those, you're talking about 50% of people out there are going to say, hey, you know, I somewhat or completely trust that type of advertising. Now let's go ahead and move up the stairs here to the top. And what are consumers finding to be the most trustworthy sources? Well, they say it right here, the second being consumer opinions posted online. So at 70%, Nielsen came back with the numbers of 70% of consumers actually saying that they trust random consumer opinions posted online, so reviews basically. So this is definitely something that consumers are saying that they use as a resource. They actually trust this resource when making purchases. And then right here at the top, at an astounding 92%, we have recommendations from people that I know. Of course, most people are going to trust the source that they've dealt with. They know the person, so they're going to definitely take their opinion into account when making a purchase. Now here's the thing that we're going to kind of go over when I'm talking about slow-mo. Basically, consumer opinions posted online are reviews. What these review sites are doing now, they're taking into account that people, they want to hear what people that they know say, not just random people. So this is being incorporated into all the review sites nowadays, whether that be Facebook Graph Search, your Yelp site, as well as Google, which we will go over. And again, these are kind of your big threes that are doing this slow-mo right now, whether that be Google, Facebook, or Yelp, doing a really great job of tying in all that great social content, your friends, your likers, your followers, and then tying that into your searches. All right, now on my screen you're going to see, basically this was just a search for a dealership. As you can see, look here, how many review sites are popping up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 8 of the 10 sites that pop up are actually review sites for the first page of this dealership. And over here on the right, you're actually going to see a little more information, one being an actual Google Plus post. That these are starting to pop up. We're seeing them a lot more with different industries, not so much with the car industry yet, though it is happening. So be prepared to start seeing even more Google Plus social content being included within searches. And right here, you're actually going to see this is the old 30-point Zagat rating system. If you've been on Google lately, or if you have not, guess what? Our 5-star rating system is back. They got rid of the 30-star point system, and at least I can speak for myself. I'm doing a big whoo and wiping my head right now, because a 30-point system was just, when it came to Zagat, Zagat is a great system when it comes to food, dining, but when it comes to the car industry and anything else, it's really hard to tell on a 30-point system if what's good and what's bad. So they got back down to the 5-star system, which makes it a lot more easier to digest, basically, for consumers, as well as marketers and dealership owners.
To do to fill them out, I can either stay until I get the
So right here, our next chart is going to be our Google Plus search integration, and basically, on the slide before that, we said that they're starting to show some of these Google.
I'm actually in a meeting. I know it looks like I'm loafing off, but I'm in a meeting.
We just asked, again, the 2,000 car buyers, were these types of posts and additional social content helpful as you did searches? And we had a pretty good number of people that said yes. 36% said that they like this additional social content when they're doing the organic searches for dealerships. So this type of social content, it's being tied in and it's being accepted. People are embracing it. They want to see, whether that be additional posts or actual content from their friends, knowing that people have visited, check-ins. All this is stuff that people are now taking into account. So with that said, let's go ahead and show some of these new Google Map and Google Plus changes. So the new Google Maps are considered smart maps. Basically, before when you just do a search, it would just kind of give you all the information that that pertained to that particular search. Well, now they're doing a lot better at actually adapting to what it is you want to see or what you've looked at in the past. So things like if some of your favorite places, if you've left a review, if your friends have left a review, all this stuff is now going to be taken into account and displayed when you're doing searches. So it's a smart search that is always an evolution of sorts. It's always learning your different traits and supplying you with information that it believes that you're going to like the most. And now on the screen you're going to see basically just did a search for a dealership that's here in Arizona near where I am. And I wanted to first of all point out again the change from the Zagat 30-point system to the 5-star system is back and everyone is happy. If you go ahead and maneuver up here a little further, you're going to see they actually have a new and improved photo reel. Really, really cool. They did a really good job of incorporating just kind of a new platform that the photos are delivered, but they also added a couple other things that I'll show you right now. You're actually able to see outside, inside, and street views now, depending on location and what exactly Google has been able to actually document. But as you can see right here, this is an example of the photo reel. And right here at the bottom are the different photos that you can go ahead and navigate through. You click through, it's going to show you again outside pictures, inside pictures of your dealership, as well as street views. And right here at the bottom is actually the street view portion of it. And as you can see right here towards the bottom, I can go ahead and look at street view in locations nearby. This is all part of the Google Earth search. So Google has done an incredible job going out there and basically documenting the world as we know it and putting it all online for us to see. And actually, this inside view right here, let me go ahead and show you an example of how cool it actually is. This is actually a 360-degree view that they have available for a lot of these different dealerships. Let me go ahead and pull this up for you. So right here, I'm actually in the Maps view right now. So as you can see, right here would be if I was doing a regular Google search. Right over here, I'm in my Maps view. And I'll go through some of this different view here in a second. But I wanted to show you some of these photo reels. I have that street view that I'm speaking of, the 10 photos to go through the photo reel. But let's go ahead and click on here and see inside. Alright, so it is now taking me inside the dealership, and look at this. I can actually grab on and do a 360-degree view of the inside and showroom of this dealership. It is pretty amazing. Not even that, it's like, okay, well, they spun around in a 360 and got pictures. I can come over here and check out the ceiling. It is amazing. Technology is out of control, and I am on board. So really cool, different features within this new photo reel and street view search. Again, part of the Google Earth program that is incorporated within the Google Maps. Just a really cool, fun feature. All right. So this was the screen that we were just looking at actually. Again, this is a map search view. Right here I did a specific dealer search, and when I did that, my map view comes over here to the right, and you're going to see there's a pin drop on the location that I'm searching for. And I can actually mouse over that location if I want. When I do so, it's going to give me the name as well as the star rating for that location, and as well as tell me how many reviews that location has. And over here, it's going to be all pertinent information. So it's almost like I can do a Google search, except I get this really cool map view, and I get all this information right here at my fingertips. So not only that, if I said, well, I'm planning on going to this location, but let's see what else is nearby. It's going to go ahead and show me different dealerships within the vicinity. And I can do the same thing. I can actually just mouse over the top of them. When I do it, again, pertinent information is going to pop up. It's going to show me that rating system, which is obviously become so big when it comes to consumers. See how many reviews they have, and I can mouse over this one, see what their star rating is, how many reviews they have. If I go ahead and click on this one, the information box is going to change, and then I can go ahead and click to read any of their reviews and kind of do a little quick research. And the reason why this map search is so cool is because when you do just a generic, regular search engine search, it doesn't, you get addresses, but it doesn't give you that bird's eye view. A lot of people, they just want to know kind of what's around my location. Let me go ahead and start, doing research about what's around me instead of just doing a plain Google search and just seeing a bunch of words. So this is a really cool tool that is being utilized. I know I'm using it quite a bit. So if I actually go ahead and click back on Tempe here, it's going to pull up all that information. And outside of that, I can click on to see what time it's open. Go straight to the website. Got a phone number here. But hey, okay, I went on here, did my research, moused over, saw the dealership I want to check out, and all I have to do is click either right down here on reviews, so I can go ahead and check out all the Google Plus local reviews. Scroll down and see what other people have to say about that dealership. And if I'm satisfied, you know what? Let's click the directions button right up here and start heading out. When I click the directions button, it's going to take me straight to the screen where it fills in that location. At this time, I can go ahead and set my location. Again, this is the desktop view. As I go through the mobile, most of the time it's just going to fill in my current location. But from the desktop view here, if I want directions, it's going to fill in where I'm going. If I'm logged into Google and I set my home location and work location, all I would have to do is press one button to press one of those, or I can fill in wherever I'm at. When I do that, basically what happens then is it's going to go ahead and map it out for me. It's going to show me the distance it's going to take to get there, the time. But one of the new features that Google Maps has incorporated is it actually gives me different transportation methods that I can choose. It also has added different traffic updates. So I went ahead and did a direction search. It gave me this location as being the quickest, but I can see here maybe there's some type of traffic update. So I can actually choose alternative routes if I want. Now, on the screen here, instead of a specific dealership, I chose to do a more broad generic search, and that was auto dealers near Tempe, Arizona. So I went ahead and typed that in, did a search, and look over here. Instead of one location being pinned with a couple different options, I have a plethora of options here. Yes, I can go ahead and zoom in. I can check out, what's close to my location. But let me show you what, and most people are going to be doing these generic searches. They want to see, they want to check out a few locations and dealers in their area. So what can I do to narrow down the search besides just zooming in and trying to find someplace near me? Well, here is the kicker. Here's what people are doing now, and this is what Google has updated. They have added a couple filters to the map search, one being top reviewers and another being your circles. So again, let's go back to the Nielsen report. What is number one on the board? That is that 92% people trust recommendations from people that they know. So let's keep that in mind. So I'm doing a search. I went ahead and clicked on my circles. As you can see up here at the top, it added a little tidbit here to the search, that being my circles. Now, check over the map over here. Instead of the 100 somewhat dealers that I had that were being shown to me, I have now been narrowed down to one single location pinned right here. And not only that, this location is not even in Tempe, Arizona. You know how many car dealers there are in Tempe, Arizona? Well, I'm not being shown any of them right now because I clicked on my circle and it showed me Camelback Volkswagen. And why did it do this? Well, down here towards the bottom, my good dear friend who I love and trust, Jen Reed, actually added a review for this car dealership. That is why it popped up. So now I'm thinking, well, this is a great way to go ahead and narrow down my search. I went from 100 somewhat dealers available to one recommended by a good friend of mine who actually gave them a 5-star rating. So I'm going to add this to my list. Not only that, I'm probably going to add it to the top of my list. And so I have this one location. I have a review right here towards the top. What can I do after that? Well, one button, click to get directions. You know what? It's not in Tempe, it's in Phoenix, but it is only 19 minutes away, and I can use my smartphone to get turn-by-turn directions straight to that location. So Google is making it easy on people. Any type of research that you need to do is right there at the top tip of your fingers, whether that be your desktop or your mobile device. Now here's a cool chart that I added in. Basically, they had asked car buyers how far would they travel to go to a place that they know has a good reputation. So some place that, you know, they check out online, they do some research, they find out that this dealership, that certain dealerships have an overall good reputation with the review sites. And the numbers are staggering even to me. It looks like the largest percent, that means 31%, say that they will travel 40 to 100 miles to go to someplace to get a dealership that they see has a good online reputation. And this makes sense. I mean, when it comes to buying a car, this isn't something small. You're not looking for a pair of shoes. But, I mean, even then, I know some girls that will travel for 40 to 100 miles or, you know, order stuff offline and wait 2 weeks just to get exactly what they want. Well, we're talking about a car here, people. This is a big purchase. This is something that people want to keep for a long time. Not only do they want to get that good price, but they want to be treated right. A majority of people are terrified. They're horrified of going into a car dealership and making this purchase. They're scared that they're going to be taken advantage of. And so outside of price, I mean, people want to know that they're going to be treated well. And that's why they go to these review sites. That's why they trust them when they want Chinese food. That's why they trust them when they take their kids to daycare. It's no different for car dealerships. And they will travel, again, a far distance just to make sure that they are having a positive experience. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and dive into some new changes on Google+. If you don't know, Google+ is the social site for Google, so it's kind of their version of Facebook. Let's go ahead and jump into a couple new changes. Right here you're going to see some of the actual cards, as they're called. Now these are just posts that are, you know, similar just to Facebook. If you don't know much about Google+, you're able to post just like you can on Facebook. Well, if you are on the hashtag trend, whether that be on Twitter, because it's really big on Twitter, it's now newly acquired into Facebook. Google Plus has been doing it for a little while, but what they're doing now is they're actually adding hashtags to post automatically. So you can actually see right over here some examples of people that created a post. There is no hashtag within the actual copy itself, but there's still a hashtag added to the post. Well, Google is actually crawling over your content and determining what post is, or what hashtag rather, is appropriate for that post, and then adding it to the top. Basically, the reason for hashtags, it's a great way to group common content together. Basically, all this tons and tons and tons of content is being pushed out into the web, and these hashtags are compiling it all in similar content to one place. So if something, some topic interests you, it makes it easy for you to go ahead and view that different post on that topic. So right up here is a example of a post that was done. As you can see within this actual copy, there was no hashtag added, but there has been three hashtags added by Google themselves, right over here towards the top. And outside of there just not being hashtag within the copy, another way to determine is if you actually mouse over the top of these. If it's a blue color, that means Google added it themselves. If it's a gray color, that is actually a hashtag that yourself or someone else that posted that added that hashtag themselves. So let's go ahead and see what happens if I go ahead and click on one of these hashtags. So if I'm to click on Kia Soul hashtag, what happens is it spins around and flips over that card, and then on the back of the card it's going to display that hashtag towards the top, and now I can actually click through and see like content. I want to see other dealerships that have that same hashtag that's being used. So again, I can see some like content. This one is an example from Autoblog. One thing that I can do while I'm in here, besides just read the content itself, if there are certain things that have been added, whether that be a person's name or certain websites, I can actually mouse over those. And when I do so, this individual was added to the post, letting me know that he's going to be in San Diego for a media launch. Maybe this is someone that I follow, he's in my Google Plus circles, or I've heard of him, something that interests me. Again, I can mouse over him, and his contact card is going to pull up here, which is almost like an online business card of sorts. He can actually update this with this information, and I can add him to my circles if I don't have him there already. Again, Google Circles being like friends on Facebook. And then if I want, there's actually different methods of communication I can do. I can actually reach out to him directly. Right here is the option to do a hangout, which is a video chat. So this individual that that's actually doing this show for Kia, I might be interested in reaching out for him. I have a direct contact that I can go ahead and do so. Another cool way to do this, possibly if you're in a dealership and you're looking through your website and you see someone saying, hey, I can't wait to get this new car, hashtag Kia Soul. Well, you can actually reach out to that person right there and say, hey, how are you doing? Saw that you're interested in such and such vehicle. I'm actually working for a car dealership over here. Let me know if I can help. So if I actually click on right up here towards the top, click on the hashtag itself, it's then going to take me to a page that's going to contain all this content. So if I didn't want to just flip the card over and just kind of, flip through each post individually, I can just click up here and then it's going to give you a whole page of all like content that's containing that same hashtag. All right, enough hashtags. Let's move on to mobile maps. First things first, I got another cool chart here. Again, this is Nielsen reporting. The question was asked, basically, it's showing your smartphone penetration by age and income. And this is something that you can probably assume. Obviously, your younger generations are using smartphones at a higher rate. But, I mean, the growth is pretty astounding. I mean, we're talking right over here at ages 55 to 64, those that are making 100K plus are using smartphones at a 48% rate. Hopovers from 18 to 24 are making less than $15,000. They are actually using smartphones at a higher rate than that of 55 to 64, making over 100 grand a year. This is how dramatic this type of smartphone is growing within the demographic. Now, okay, this might be some of your college-age kids and so forth, but I mean this goes across the board. Obviously, smartphones are just becoming more and more accessible to all ages and incomes. I mean, if you see deals nowadays, you have Cricket that are offering basically no money down for some of the best smartphones out there, and then they actually incorporate the cost of the phone each month, broken down month by month. So they're doing whatever they can to get these smartphones in everybody's hands. And right here, again, back to the social media study, 36% of car buyers who visit review sites are using mobile apps to search for their dealers. And here's the breakdown. Google is still number one when it comes to mobile search. They are super mobile friendly. Yelp is doing quite a good job over there too, and Cars.com actually, people are doing searches on their mobile devices. But Google has done a really good job with mobile. Someone that's moving in right here at 12% is Facebook. Now that might seem kind of low because the amount of people that are actually on Facebook, but the question here is who are using, car buyers who visit review sites are using mobile apps. Facebook just got on board with Google Graph Search, so that's why the number is low right now. But just think of how many people actually use Facebook on their mobile devices. As Facebook Graph Search keeps to grow and people start to utilize it more and more, they're going to be pretty tempted to go ahead and use that for all this type of searching, since they're already on Facebook, as many times as 2 or 3 times a day. So we can assume that this number is going to keep growing, and Facebook's going to make a really hard play in the review search area. All right, so now Google Mobile Maps. Right here you can see an example of a smartphone. This is an Android, Samsung Galaxy S4. Basically did a search right up here for a specific dealership. It shows up pinned just like it did on the desktop view. And right down here is the review, or the rating for that dealership. If I scroll down, as you can see up here, it's going to give pertinent information. I can call directly. I can save that dealership if I want. I can share it. Just by pressing on share, it's going to give me a pop-up view to go and share this information, whether that be via email, different email accounts, Facebook, Google+, text it, Twitter, just about everything that you'd want. Not only that, but I also have the same photoreal views that I did on my desktop. It's amazing. I can actually click on this, see inside like I showed you earlier, and I can mouse through and do a 360-degree view on my mobile device, just like I did on my desktop. And right here is an example of clicking on Street View and what I see contained on my mobile phone.
13 in email.
Scroll down even further, and look what I have here. I can rate and create a review directly from my phone. Directly from my phone, I can go ahead and choose a star rating and compose a review for that particular dealership. So people are in your dealerships sitting waiting to have service done. They can be doing this. If you're pushing this in your dealership, if you have some signage saying, rate us on Google, rate us on Yelp, this is all stuff that you can do to help push that star rating, which I've shown you an example of how important it is. I went from having hundreds of dealerships contained on my map to getting it narrowed down to one because a friend that I had created a review there. It is super, super powerful. And if I want, I can go ahead and view all the reviews pertaining to that dealership just by scrolling down, see what other people have to say about it. All right, another thing that Google has done is they have this thing called Google Offers, which is still kind of taking off, but they're doing a better job of incorporating it into Maps. Over here is an example of a Google Maps search that actually incorporates this offer. Now, we're not seeing this actually incorporated into the searches for auto yet, but I'm sure it's on its way. But as you can see here, I do a search, I can call, do all the same stuff, but right here embedded is an offer that I can go ahead and take advantage of, which might be the thing that makes me choose that particular dealership over another. Okay, so outside of the Google Offers actually being embedded within searches, there is a Google Offers app that is separate. Now this is no different than many of the other kind of coupon apps that are out there that are available. The difference is, though, that this comes preloaded on your Samsung phone. So those Samsung Google phones that are using all those different Google apps and content, this Google Offers is starting to be preloaded to a lot of those. So you can actually go ahead and see, these are the different categories I can go ahead and find offers for. And what's here towards the bottom is automotive. So this is a category already there as soon as I click on my Offers app. Once clicked, it's going to go ahead and show me a list of different automotive shops and what their offer is. So I can go ahead and, and this is working currently off my current location. So it's using my GPS. So all these offers that pop up are being offered, are showing up basically because they are close to whatever location I am currently. So I could go ahead and click on one of these if I wanted. When I do that, the offer comes up. I can actually use it later, use it now, and I believe it's just redeemed directly from your phone. So they would show you the phone and then be able to redeem that directly from there. Another view is the map view. So I was looking at the list view, I can actually just click on map, and not unlike Google Maps, I can actually just go ahead and say, well, let me see who's offering services in that location. And this is good. People are going to be using this. This is something that, especially for service. I wake up on a Saturday morning, I'm like, I have to get that oil change, but who's offering something? Click on my Offers app, click on the map, who's closed, and then all I have to do is mouse over to see what location's offering what.
New message from Bobby Morris.
All right. So, in comparison, let's do a quick overview of some of the new Apple Maps and Yelp integration. As you might have already heard, last week Apple actually released its newest platform, which is the iOS 7 platform. Moving forward on Apple's version of Maps, basically they are now incorporating Yelp reviews into Apple Maps. So for those people on iPhones that are actually using their Apple Maps, truthfully, a lot of people on iPhones are still using Google for a lot of their searches, but a lot of people are using their Apple Maps too. So as you can see, it's not too much different from that of Google. But again, they're pulling, instead of having their own review system, where Google has its own review system, they're actually using Yelp reviews contained within the map. It's super important, guys, to make sure you are taking care of your online reputation, that you have a plan, that you're able to have a strategy on having reviews being generated, coming in, because here's the thing. When it comes to being a car dealer, you are doing a good job, whether that's sales or service. A majority of people are enjoying their experience. But who are the people that are leaving reviews? A lot of times it's going to be people that are upset. They didn't have a good experience, and they want to go ahead and share that with the world. Well, nowadays, if you have a strategy, you're able to encourage those, whether that be with check-ins or signage or basically the learning curve itself is helping, but you have to have a strategy and plan to encourage people to leave reviews. Because again, the majority of people are happy. They are going to give a positive review for this location, and people are on Yelp, they are on Google, they understand these things, but sometimes they just need a reminder, whether that's working with your staff, having signage, again, having a reputation management company that's going to help generate reviews and bring up that reputation for you, because it is more important than ever. And right here's, again, just like Google, Apple iPhones, they have your Apple Maps. You have the same capabilities that you did with Google, doing searches, having locations pinned, seeing reviews, being able to click on locations, get info, reviews, photos, phone number, and again, be able to check out those reviews. One new thing that was announced with iOS 7, this is certain car buyers are actually going to incorporate Apple Maps into the actual cars themselves. So certain vehicles and vehicle models will actually have a Apple Maps system that they navigate, use, And this means that they're going to be able to see reviews directly from their car. So when they're driving locations, they're going to be able to do a search within their vehicle, find locations, and be able to see, quickly what places are rated what. Now you might say, well, they already have a car, who's doing a search. Well, people that want to get service done. It's like, hey, where should I get service done? They're going to check out that Apple Maps. It's right there. Makes it easy on, and they're going to see what kind of reviews places are getting. On top of that, we know people, they purchase more than one car. So that's not to say that they're not doing a search from their vehicle to find a location to go to. They might have visited one location, didn't like it, now they're leaving, or they're trying to see where else to go. They're going to be using their navigation system. So now, quick touch on Facebook Graph Search. Again, just like I said, this is the biggest social site out there. They have as much social content on everybody that you would ever want. Well, it's being utilized now within this new Graph Search that is a review site. So I can check out dealerships and see which one of my friends like those dealerships. It's actually going to start adding star ratings, which we're seeing on particular dealers now. We know that they're asking for it now. If you look on your Facebook pages, they're asking individuals to rate these different locations. So this is going to be an all-out launch here pretty soon, where Facebook is going to get Graph Search basically out there and people knowledgeable of it, and people are just going to start utilizing it because, again, they already have everybody but there. They're already checking out the location, 2 to 3 times a day. So people are going to start utilizing this. So it's very important to stay on top of that as well. And we actually did, within our trend study, ask people how likely are you to use Graph Search when finding dealerships. And at 43%, this is before Graph Search even took off, 43% of people said, yeah, I'll probably use it. And that makes sense because of how popular Facebook is. People are just going to use Facebook. There's no way around it. These other percentage of people that said they weren't, they're lying because they're already going to be on Facebook. And they're going to start navigating through, checking out what their friends are doing. All of a sudden ads come through, and next thing you know, they're at your dealership. It's one of the most used platforms. So it's very important that you stay on top of it and make sure that you're managing it. And again, this is going to have the same capabilities that your Apple Maps does, that your Google Maps does. It's going to have Facebook Nearby, which is the graph, which is the Google Maps version. And so you're going to have all the same capabilities. So you're going to be able to review directly from your phone, call, check in, all that good stuff. And just a little more pertinent information, according to Facebook, something that they've started to do now is something called story bumping. Story bumping basically is it's a likability contest. It's all your posts that used to be just shown in chronological order. Facebook is now bumping posts up within the feed if they're receiving a lot of likes, follows, and shares. So if there's a lot of interaction with a certain post, these posts are now being bumped up to the top of feeds, whether there's been numerous posts made after them. Facebook is finding that people are staying on longer and liking and interacting more if they go ahead and bump up content that is being liked by other people. So it's definitely super important for you to make sure that you're getting really high-quality content out there, that people are interacting with that content, because it's almost like free advertising. Because basically you can do ads in Facebook right now where sponsored stories where they push up within the newsfeed. So you pay and you force that ad up into tops of the newsfeed. Well, if you're making content that's getting enough interaction, it's free advertising. It's pushing it up there for you for free. So it's all about just having really good content, making sure that you have some great interactives, that people are sharing it, they're wanting to comment, and they're wanting to like it. Another change, Facebook shared albums are going to be launched here. And basically this is, your photo albums that you can load to Facebook. They're actually going to add something where you can add shared albums, so you can actually invite people to add photos to your album. And just a really cool thing, if you had a trip or you had an event, a wedding, that you wanted to go ahead and allow people to add photos. You know, you have your wedding and you had a great reception. You create an album for the reception, and then you send out an email saying, "Hey, I've invited all of you guys to go ahead and add all your photos to my Facebook album. I'd love to see everybody." Really cool, just extra feature that is out there. And supposedly, you can have up to 50 contributors to each album, shared album that is, 200 photos per contributor, and that can top you off at 10,000 photos per shared album. So that is going to be quite a few photos that you are going to be able to utilize within a single shared album. All right, and I think our last update here is our Yelp mobile reviews. If you haven't heard Yelp, and if you are a Yelper, you can feel my pain and know how long you've been waiting for this option to happen. They have finally broken down and have added mobile reviews. So you can actually now compose a Yelp review directly from your mobile device. This is pretty big, guys. Yelpers have been craving this. They've been wanting it forever. Yelp has been fighting it off because they said, well, we don't want people creating in-the-moment, heat-of-the-moment reviews. We also, they're really big on the actual, the quality of the reviews that are composed. And they're afraid if they allow people to do it from mobile devices that they're going to be doing, the shorthand, doing all that kind of mobile slang, and just kind of bring down the quality of reviews. Well, basically their hand was pushed. Facebook is allowing you to create reviews from your phone. Google is allowing you to do it. All these review sites are allowing you to do it now, and they're trying to stay on the, push forward with the slow-mo and be one of the big players, which they are. And so finally, they broke down. You can add a review directly from your phone now. So this is huge. Again, signage in your dealership, push people, say, hey, we're on Yelp, create a review, so they can actually do it from their location. So again, most of your customers are happy. Encourage them to leave a review. Now you don't have to wait for that lag time from someone that receives service from your dealership. They drive all the way home. By the time they get there, if they had a good experience, they're over it. If they've had a bad experience, they're still burning, and they want to leave that review. Well, now they can do it straight from the dealership. So encourage check-ins. How do you get them on Yelp in the first place? Encourage a check-in offer. Oh, you mean I was coming here to do my oil change? Let me go ahead and do a check-in offer, get this coupon. Oh, while I'm on here, I'm going to leave a review. Hey, I had a great experience. I came in. They're really nice. They have the internet. And then I had this awesome check-in offer for this month. A really great way to go ahead and get those Yelp ratings boosted. All right, so I know I went long, as I usually do. But I did want to thank everybody that came on today, and if you do have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and reach out. My name is Ryan O'Hara. My email address is right there at rohara@digitalairstrike.com. I will be sending out a thank you email that will have a recording of today's webinar, so you can go ahead and pass that around. But thank you everyone for attending, and also keep an eye out because we have a webinar coming up. So we're going to dive a little more into all the new great Yelp updates that have come across and how you can help manage those and really leverage them for your dealership. So again, thanks everyone. Have a great and amazing Wednesday and a very productive and lucrative weekend. And I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.